Okay, you are live.
We change the world in history right here where we're from. It's new beginning to you and me, cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done. I appreciate that.
Well, I guess that means it's time to rise and shine. It's time to get up. Let's go to work. You're wasting daylight. Okay, then. Now, you know what time it is? It's time for our daily bread. Okay? Well, first of all, we must give thanks for one more day above the ground because it's still better to be on top of the ground than the ground on top of you. So, let us get busy here and do what we do. All right. Good morning to you. It is a Wednesday morning. It is the 9th day, believe it or not, excuse me. It is the 10th day of, believe it, September 2025. Another day, one more on top of the ground. The ground's not on top of us. So we'll be right back after our daily bread and a few other things, and we'll get this party started. I think I got everything working today. Yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Okay, we shall see.
Thank you, Lord, for every breath I take.
It is a great day to be alive. It is absolutely. The weather has finally decided to cooperate with us. Okay, I know this is the dirty South. Can we get some of that good northern chill for a couple of days there, so I can appreciate it? All right. So I'm Kevin Elkins. Not that really matters, because it really doesn't. But give me some grace today, and hopefully all my equipment will work today. I got some expensive computers. I don't know why they are, but sometimes it is what it is. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Again, one more day on top of the ground. In the ground, not on top of you. We'll be back after this word from our daily bread.
Thank you, Lord, for the laughter and tears, for the strength you give in all my fears, in the rhythm of my heart. I hear your call.
Linger in God's Word and you'll find stories of faith.
Our Daily Bread.
Today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional was written by David McCasland. During a discussion of the Lord of the Rings movie trilogy, a teenager said he prefers his stories in books rather than movies. When asked why, the young man replied, "With a book, I can stay there as long as I want." There's something to be said for the power of lingering in a book, especially the Bible, and inhabiting the stories there. Hebrews 11, often called the faith chapter of the Bible, mentions 19 people by name. Each one traveled a road of difficulty and doubt, yet chose to obey God. Verse 13 says, "All these people were still living by faith when they died. They did not receive the things promised. They only saw them and welcomed them from a distance, admitting that they were foreigners and strangers on earth. How easy is it to rush through our Bible reading without pondering the people and events in the text? Our self-imposed time schedule robs us of going deeper into God's truth and His plan for our lives. Yet, when we are willing to stay a while, we find ourselves caught up in the real-life dramas of people like us who chose to stake their lives on God's faithfulness. When we open God's Word, it's good to recall that we can stay as long as we want.
Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Hebrews chapter 11, verses 8 through 13. By faith, Abraham, when called to go to a place he would later receive as his inheritance, obeyed and went, even though he did not know where he was going. By faith, he made his home in the promised land like a stranger in a foreign country. He lived in tents, as did Isaac and Jacob, who were heirs with him of the same promise. For he was looking forward to the city with foundations, whose architect and builder is God. And by faith, even Sarah, who was past childbearing age, was enabled to bear children because she considered him faithful who had made the promise. And so from this one man, and he as good as dead, came descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and as countless as the sand on the seashore. All these people were still living by faith when they died. They did not receive the things promised. They only saw them and welcomed them from a distance, admitting that they were foreigners and strangers on earth. That's today's scripture reading from Hebrews chapter 11, verses 8 through 13.
Let's pray. Lord, we want to thank you today for your written word, the Bible, and what it means to us. There are so many examples of people who lived by faith, Lord, and may you help us to follow you just as they did. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
And now let us let me turn myself back on here right quick. Let us pay homage to our armed forces of these United States, because freedom is not free. Somebody, someplace has got to defend them. So that's what we do. And now my son, that's he's taken over from his dad. So now he's one of those folks out there that took the responsibility of protecting the freedoms that we have, as long as we have them for the time being. And hey, he needs some company. Okay, so if you're like 18, not much to do, why not join the military? It is a great place to get your start. I know it can be kind of tough sometimes, but so is life. Okay, so let us pay homage to the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, as well as the United States Coast Guard and Space Force. Good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Okay, no PT. Okay. This thing. I forgot my PT uniform. And of course, the United States Air Force. Good morning to Gunner and Matt Miller in Montgomery, Alabama. It's a great day, outstanding day to be in the Air Force. And last but certainly not least, the United States Marine Corps. It would have been one. Long story. All right then. Good morning. How's everybody doing? I feel now since I was so discombobulated yesterday, I'm sort of full of grit today. I'm full of stuff. You know, I mean, not really. Well, not really. I don't mean that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm energetic today. I'm ready to roll. You know, I was right before I came on this morning. I listened to a survey before we get into the city council meeting and all that stuff. I listened to a survey. Oh yeah. Jamal Brown is Jamel Brown is just well, I don't know. You know, we'll get to that. But I was listening to a survey, and they named the most predominant cultures in America. Do you know, as far as changing the way things are, our cultural appropriations, just influence the most influential culture in America? Anybody know what it is? Okay, there's Japanese, there's Chinese, there's Korean, there's Latino. But you know who the most influential culture in this country is? See, this is why I don't buy all the woe is me crap. Okay, it's Black African Americans. We have more influence on the culture in America than any other group in this country. Okay, now here's my problem. What are we doing with that? What are we doing with that influence? Are we making things better? I don't know. You know, we also have some of the biggest problems in communities than any other in any other culture in America. But you would think that it would be the Latinos, but the Latinos come in second. Okay, excuse me, the Latinos come in third, and the Japanese come in second. And because they, you know, I mean, think about it. PlayStation, think about it. Nintendo, anime, all these things that in the last 21st century have come about that now keep our kids inside rather than outside because they don't want to go outside. They want to stay home and play with or be on the internet and play all kinds of games and never going out and get some of that good sunshine. But you wouldn't think the Japanese would be such an influence in America, but they are. Because me personally, do any Japanese live in America? I mean, live in Montgomery? Not that I know of. I don't know. I know Korea and Chinese have here because that's who sells us our wigs and gets rich off that. which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at. Hey, listen, you come up with a great idea. You come up with a great idea, and you make money at. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. But as far as influence is concerned, as far as changing the paradigm of a people, Black African Americans, I don't like to call it Black African American, whichever you want to be called, have more influence in this country. Now, unfortunately, um, that influence has not been, um, shall we say, how can I put this without being negative? Um, that influence has not provided us. Okay, hey, listen, I'm a word master here. That influence has not provided us the upwardly mobile, um, the upwardly mobile path that it ought to. Let's take hip hop music. Hip hop music is certainly influential, but it's a bad influence. Okay, it always has been, and as far as I'm concerned, it always will be. Okay, but it is what it is. Food. More people of different cultures like soul food. Everybody likes soul food. I like soul food too. Hey, right on. I love it. Give me some pork chops and give me some greens and throw a little cornbread on top of that, brother, and everybody eating. So let's talk about swag. Nobody used to be. It's not that way anymore. But nobody dresses better. There ain't nothing finer than a good-looking black man and a good-looking woman with some clothes on, walking down the street, strutting their pride. Now, I don't know what the hell happened to us. Now we wear our pants below our ass, and we now we wear holes in our pants, and we buy. Wait a minute, we buy the pants with holes already in them and pay more for them. Somebody must have figured this out a long time ago and tried to change that culture. Okay, but there was nobody. Even back in the 40s and 30s and 50s, black folks walked. We were some of the best dressed people in this country, and with the little money we had. Okay, we didn't dare walk around looking the way they looking today. We did not dare. Our hair was kept prim and proper when we could, when we had the money to get a haircut. And something happened. But we are the number one cultural influencer in America. What are we doing with it? Okay, and listen, you're absolutely right. I don't agree with you too often, but influence doesn't necessarily mean it's good, but it does mean. Well, I just told you what influence has been good. Our food, our swag, our confidence, and if you really look at the historical from a historical aspect in America, our intelligence has been good. There's some inventions right now, and you know what? Do you know the part that black folks played in GPA? GPS, even the internet. We have influence. Now, I must admit it's been hidden, but it's up to us to find out about it now. It's out there. It's out there. Again, influence can be good or bad, but for the most part, except from the 1990s and beyond, we've seemed to lack a couple of things. But culturally, yeah, black folks in America are the most influential group of people. Again, some of that influence is positive, some of that influence is negative. I hear you, but that's everybody. Everybody's got a little positive, everybody's got a little negative. But think about it. You wouldn't have a GPS if it were not for a black person. Okay, you wouldn't have refrigerated trucks. That carry meat and all these things on long distances in these trucks. You wouldn't have them. Black person came up with that. So now I realize that we don't teach these things, and it's up to us to teach these things. And maybe, just maybe, if we spend a little more time making people who seem to be lost in the wilderness sometimes, showing the things that we have accomplished, even under duress. We built things to make this country better. Even Trump the other day even though nobody would give him credit for saying it. He did say black folks helped build this country, and he was absolutely right. But but you can only live on the past for so long. You can only live on what you did for so long, because at some point we have to say what we're doing. Okay, so I'm just saying. But anyway, it was an interesting survey. Uh, we are the most dominant influence of culture in this country, and that's black folks. And most of it, now I'm gonna tell you, most of it's pretty good. Yeah, most of it's pretty good. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to us as a people. You know, but we can talk about that. We can talk about that if you want to. But sometimes you gotta tell the truth and shame the devil. And we are and let's talk about music. Let's talk about music. Except this crap called hip hop and rap, we have come up with some genres of music that wouldn't be here had it not been the soul of Black America. Okay, okay. I mean, listen, I listen. If there was no music, I would be useless. I love our music. Now, not the crap they're coming up with now because they can have it, but the Nat King Coles, the Natalie Coles, the Temptations, the Whispers, the Four Tops, all these and they look good in presenting it to us as a people. And now now it's my lord, I don't know what it is now. I wish we could turn the clock back just a little bit and get some of that back again. A survey came out. Japanese are number 2 in culture. Latinos are number 3, and the last ones don't. The bottom 2, I don't really care. I mean, they're all right, but okay. But the number one culture in America, the influencer, is black folks. Good morning, Ranger. Hoorah. Hey, there's a guy on here, Hellison, that swears him down. I've never been in the Ranger Battalion. Can you come on and tell him that? Yeah, I was there. He doesn't believe. See this guy right here? He swears him down. I'm a lying sack of crap. I've never been on. He said I've never been in the battalion, never jumped out of an airplane, never did anything. So I need somebody from Second B to come on here and tell that son of a gun I ain't lying. I ain't lying at all. Okay. As a matter of fact, look at my little thing right there. Where's see that right there? That right there. See, does that show that I was in jump school right there? Does that picture show that I was in jump school? Of course it does. I mean, he swears I'm down, I'm lying, or like I gotta lie. Because he's one of them Air Force guys, Now, I don't think he flew planes or anything like that. At least I jumped out of them. I ain't mad at him. Don't get me wrong. But anyway, it is a great day to be alive. No phone guests at the moment. If you want to call in, you can do that. As a matter of fact, I need to make sure my phone is working anyway. So if anybody wants to call, I need a commo check. That's the number right there, 521-2963, 334-521-2963. But anyway, and we got other things to talk about too. But there's so many good things that black folks have brought to the culture of America. But we seem to have forgotten it. We seem to have forgotten it. And I am so devastated by what happened. We make national news one more time in Alabama about what happened in Auburn. Just absolutely, just. I just don't know. I do not know what has happened to our culture, a culture of pride. And we still have some, of course, but they all go to private schools now. We still got plenty of that. But something is going on in time, like Ronald Reagan said, something is going on in time and space that is serendipitous, because it is. I mean, we have been a proud people, even under duress in this country. Where did all this violence come from? Okay, well, some of it comes from attaching ourselves to the Democratic Party. Not everybody, not all the people of the Democratic Party, but the philosophy of the Democratic Party. In order to get us, okay, in order to get all these black folks to vote Democrat, they have made us, okay. Okay, I hear you, bro. I hear you. They have made us the whooping stick to put everybody in a frenzy and vote for them. Lyndon Baines Johnson, and I'm just going ahead and say what he said. Lyndon Baines Johnson, the day he passed the Civil Rights Act, and I'm glad this ain't radio because I can say that, he said we're going to have those niggas voting for us for the next 250 years. And you know what? He pretty close to the first 100 years right now. Okay, he pretty he was pretty close. Okay, so has that has it served us well as a people? Because if you constantly think that you are a victim, I played a thing yesterday. As a matter of fact, I think I want to play it again because it was such a good conversation between this young man and this guy about this black young man is in Texas A&M. Now, Texas A&M is not a school that you can just get into and lollygag around because that's what you feel like doing. Texas A&M is a pretty good school. You don't just get there. I mean, you may get there. I don't think DEI is the way to get into Texas A&M. Okay, but once you listen to this guy, he is going to make you feel as though the whole world's against. Now he's in one of the most influential universities, okay. But his argument about the past, okay, went all the way back. He's about 19, 20, 21 years old. He brings up Tulsa. Tulsa was a terrible thing. It was a terrible, terrible thing. Okay, I don't think anybody would ever say anything other than that. Okay, I don't think anybody will. Well, I can't find the guy in here no more. He's gone. So I was gonna play that, but he was a this guy. His whole argument for DEI and all that stuff, and the guy who I wish I could find. I can't find it right now, so it's gone. I guess. Um, but his whole argument was the past. His whole argument was, well, this is what happened in the 1950s and the 40s. We know that. Okay. Okay. So once and for all, the last time ever saying this. Okay, my last time ever saying this because everybody already knows. Listen, white people back in the day, and we can argue there may be some 75, 80 years old who still have some of the same thoughts, but white folks back in the day were evil. Absolutely. Evil as sin. But on the other hand, had it not been for a lot of people that were white, there's no way in the world a lot of these people put their wealth, their lives, because people of their same race was crazy. Okay. But they put their wealth, their livelihood on in a dangerous place by helping us. And I can only think Viola Louiso, who came from who came down south, a white woman, um, during the the height of all this anti-black folk stuff, and gave her life. And she's not the only one. There are a multitude of whites who put their life in harm's way to help black folks. Okay, so against their own people because they weren't their people. Okay, they had to be the same color, but that's it. Okay, they couldn't help what sperm pool they happened to be in. Okay, it was a bad situation for black folks and for some white folks. Okay, it was just bad. Uh, but never think that we did all this by ourselves. We had to have help from somebody. Okay, even in World War II, America's one of the greatest countries that ever been on God's green earth. But guess what? We needed help, and guess who helped us? Because sometimes the Russians, and we want to act like we hate the Russians. Well, the Russians helped us win World War II. Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Okay, so that's just the way it rolls. Okay, well, I wasn't a rangerette, brother. I was a lot of things, but I wasn't I wasn't a rangerette. Anyway, now let me see. Now what else is going on? So I can't even find it. If I could find that thing, I'd play it again for you guys. If I am doing the next hour, if I can find it, because it is a conversation that we need to have in this country. Now, the Democratic Party should ban Jamel from running under their banner. It makes their banner looks crazy. It makes them look like they. I mean, they're gonna let this guy run there. I mean, wearing women's wigs and all this stuff. I mean, we don't take politics seriously, which is why we never have any political power when it comes to getting things done. We don't take it serious enough. Either we don't vote or we support idiots that vote. And I'm not gonna say the guy's an idiot. Listen, he's a young fella, but he has no idea of the damage he's doing to the Democratic Party's mantle. He has no idea what he's doing. Okay, there's another guy that's running as a I think as a Democrat named Will Boyd. I think he's a doctor or some a preacher. I think he's a preacher, one of those things. Uh, Trying to reach out to him. He's yet to call me back. But Jamel, please, for sanity's sake, um, let's just give it up, brother. Let's just leave it alone. Okay. I mean, just let me see. I gotta find this guy because this is the guy right here now. Let me see. Let me see if I can find him right quick. This guy says he's running for the governor of the United States. Now, I mean, excuse me, the governor of the state of Alabama. Now, nobody takes him seriously. Okay, nobody takes. He's getting a lot of free publicity. You know, um, I've asked him to come on. He act like he doesn't hear from me, but I've asked. I sent him notes and all kind of things because I want to see where his brain is. Okay, I want to see where his brain is. Okay. Okay, here we go. No, you were careful not to say you were a ranger. Rangers are to someone who had to cook. Again, I don't know what makes you think that my contribution to the service of the United States was any less than yours. I also was a what we call a 64 Charlie. I also drove the 18 wheelers and all that stuff. That was one of my other MOSs also. Now in the 70s, it was not unusual for a brother to be given, even though my scores were great. 50 something, I think my ASVAB score was, and my GT scores were one something. So it's not unusual to be directed toward an MOS that they wanted to fill rather than the one I wanted. But I didn't want to, I didn't want to. I wanted to go to the Ranger Battalion. That's where I wanted to go. I wanted to jump out of airplanes, be the tough, be the best there was. And at that particular time, I think they were and I still think that they're the best. Although I will say Navy SEALs are, and we didn't have to deal with all that water, except every once in a while when the first sergeant or somebody said, get in the water and learn how to swim. But other than that, yeah, I never would have tried out for Navy SEAL. That's just too much water. But yeah, everybody eats, my friend. Everybody eats. Okay. So, for years you've been trying to put me down. Listen, I wasn't in the cooks because I couldn't do anything else. That's what they said they needed. And when you join the Rangers or the special units, whatever the case may be, you have to go at their behest at the job. They need to fill job. We call them TOE slots. Okay, which means that you get there to fill a slot. And what they need. Now, I will tell you that in the 70s, I probably had a little Bravo Sierra put on me too, saying that that's the only job they had available. They probably needed the job. Nobody wanted to do it. It's a tough job. It sucks sometimes. But you know what? It was different in the battalion. But I don't know why you believe that a cook is an idiot. I don't know why you think that, because we're also the people that can make you go to the bathroom for 3 weeks straight, not know why. Okay, so hey, be nice. Okay, so I don't have to lie about my service. Again, I was 64 Charlie, 94 Bravo. 'Cause at that particular time, it was kind of cold outside, and I needed a job, so I took whatever job they have. But I was going to jump out of that airplane no matter what happened. I was going to. I didn't want to go to leg land. because Lakeland sucks. Okay, I wanted to be with part of the best unit there was in the United States Army, and that's why I went to the 82nd Airborne too. I mean, I'm just telling you, I just went. So I've been with the big boys. I don't even play. You can't even. You couldn't even muster in the 82nd Airborne or the Rangers. So listen, I understand your jealousy. Jealousy is like penis envy. I understand. You're a white guy, and you think that you know I beat you in certain areas. So I probably do, but I'm just saying, I understand your problem. Trust me, I do. Listen, you don't have to worry about me. Yeah, I'm not gonna, tell nobody about your inadequacies. Okay, I'm just saying. So we get. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, now getting back to Jamal. Jamal is a young black male. I think he's 30, maybe 30. Yeah, maybe about 30 or 31, somewhere around there. Um, and as soon as somebody send me a picture to my messenger box here, my Windows Messenger, my Facebook Messenger, I'll show you who he is. He's a guy that runs for every office. He's ran for city council. He's ran for mayor 18 now, and he ran at 18, which is cool. I have no problem with young people getting involved in politics, but give me a plan. Show me that as a senior American that you have what it takes to do the job, and don't make me scared. Okay, scared that you might win, which I don't. I will bet. You know, I will bet my yeah, I'll bet anything I got almost that ain't gonna happen. Okay, because if that happens, if this guy wins, okay, then we in more serious trouble than I thought we were. Okay, I mean we in some serious kimchi. Okay, serious. Okay, so and as soon as I get a picture, I'm looking for one right now. Let me see, because this is his last. This is what he's been doing lately. Okay, let me see now. Uh, Jamal, is it Jamal or Jamal? I don't know which one it is. Uh, Okay, I don't know what Jermaine. Oh yeah, Jamel Jermaine Brown. That's him. That's the man right there. So what he has done, Jamel Brown running for the governor of the state of Alabama. Let me show you who he is. All right, hold on one second now. I'll show you who he is. Okay, because he's listen. I think he's a cool kid, but he's a kid. He doesn't have a clue um, what he's doing, what he's talking about. Share screen. Let me see. Go over here. Okay, now this is Mr. Brown right here. This is Jamel Brown. Now Jamel swears up and down that he's ready to be the governor of the state of Alabama. Okay, I mean he okay, he thinks he's ready to be the governor of the state of Alabama. Which who knows? Maybe in his mind he is. Okay, but this is him. But I'm looking for the picture that is all over Instagram and all these other places, but I don't see it on his Facebook page. Okay. Wait. Here it is right there. There it is right there. Okay. Now this is Jamel. Now the other day, now according to him, according to him, he wore this wig. He let this girl do his hair this way because he wanted to help her promote her thing, which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. But if you're going to run for the governor of the state of Alabama, I think as a Democrat, we already don't like Democrats, most of us anyway. So I mean, really, okay. So he wants if he thinks that looking like a woman is the way to go, then he is woefully inadequate. Okay, now, but now I will tell you that would really look good on a woman. That would really look good on a woman. Jamel is he's special. He's kind of special. I'm just saying that maybe he's not quite ready for the big time yet. Okay, I mean I don't think he is, but that's okay. That's all right. He's not quite ready for the big time yet. Okay, now and again, here he is again. Listen, I ain't mad at him. I mean, if that's what he wants to be, well, this is the guy that wants to be the next governor of the state of Alabama. Okay, I ain't mad at him. I'm not mad at him at all. Okay, nice thing about it, when you put these pictures online, they there forever. you can't you can't take them back. Oh, here he is again, right there. Okay, so I'm just saying, he might wanna rethink about.
Before she went to school, Jamel wet the wig up. Wet the wig up. She FaceTimed me.
Okay, so anyway, again, and here he is. Oh, this is really a good one right here. But that's okay. That's all right. That's him. So that's a guy. That's a guy who wants to be your next governor of the state of Alabama. And if it wasn't so comical, if it wasn't such a tragedy, it would be funny. But he's going to have people believing that he can actually be governor of the state of Alabama. At this again, but he has a right to run. Now, if he wants to come on this show and debate the issue with me, I would be glad to. I mean, he likes to talk about how many listeners he's had. Well, it's okay to have listeners, but if the only thing they ever hear is you and no opposition to you, then I don't think you're a very good candidate for anything. If you're going to put on the big boy pants, and put on the big boy pants, and let's talk about this thing, because I don't think you're ready. Not only do I don't think you're ready, I don't even think. Well, you're qualified. I guess you can be, as long as you are. I think 21 years old or 25 years old, whatever the case may be. You can run. You can run for any office you want to run for. That's cool. I got no problem with that. But come on, can we be a little bit serious here? Honestly, can we be a little serious? Would you vote for this guy? Okay, I like him. As a kid, I like him. He's always been involved in something, even though he was wrongly guided. Well, again, here's another guy about white folks being evil. They were evil. They were. There's no doubt about it. My mom was born in Jackson, Mississippi. There's no doubt about it. And again, I'm not saying that all white folks are bad, but I'm saying back in those days, it was standard operating procedure to treat black folks wrong. And if you deny that, then you're lying. The truth ain't in you. That's just the way it was. The things my mother told me that she had to put up with in Mississippi, it still angers me. And she's been dead for 30 years. It still makes me mad that she had to even go through that as being an American citizen. But she did. And but she told me? She said, don't hate people. She said, don't trust them, but don't hate people. And I have led my life by that. I don't hate anybody because of their color. I just don't. I just don't. People who are, because if the truth be told, I done stuck it to a few people along the way too. So I can't be mad at everybody. All I ask us to do is move forward. We can't undo the past. We can't undo what happened. It was what happened. Okay. So I ain't mad at you. Okay. I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I can truly say there's not anybody on God's green earth that I hate. No one. Okay. Absolutely nobody. I don't. Now Donald, this guy here, Don is a sort of a pain to me, but I don't hate him. No. I mean, he's just, he just got some issues. But I listen. He should have been in the army, and we could have broke bread together, and literally, and I made him a plate of some of my good cream of beef. Okay. I'm just saying, yeah, I made him a prayer. So if you want to give us a call, I'd love to have you right here. If you got something, let me check my phone, make sure my phone is working here, because I don't know. Anyway, the numbers here are 521. What's my number? Oh, 2963. Let me make sure my number's working here now. And I got a lot of things to say too. Yesterday, what happened? I'm absolutely certain that men and women's brains are different. I'm absolutely, I just got a text. I'm absolutely, from a woman. I'm absolutely convinced that men and women don't think the same. We don't. We think differently. Okay. Yeah. We think differently. Yeah. See, I'm gonna leave. I'll leave that alone. But anyway, um, uh, she just a she just a mess with my whole combobulation right now, of my whole mind. But we're gonna leave that alone. Anyway, so what was I gonna? I was gonna check my phone line, make sure my phone line working. You know, you guys don't. I thought you guys don't like calling very much, do you? Y'all just like to sit out there and although I don't care if you just write stuff on here and stuff like that. I just want a good argument. I just want a good argument. That's all. And if I can find this thing that this guy gave me yesterday, I love to play it again because it really was a great conversation, and it's part of the reason. It's part of the reason in my mind, in my mind, why we have such problems with violence in our community. Because we have been what has been laid at our doorstep, black folks' doorsteps for years, is that you are the victim. You are going to be a perpetual victim in perpetuity. You cannot make it on your own. Okay. Yes. Good morning. I I, I have not insulted anybody. I mean, I haven't. Wait a minute. See, that's another thing with black folks. If we can't disagree without you taking it personal, okay, then I didn't insult black folks. Hey, let me ask you a question. Well, I never said that. I never said that. Right? Everybody should raise their own kids. I didn't put it on, but because here's the difference. Here's the thing. Let me ask you something. If a guy in the if a guy in the army went out and killed 10 people tomorrow, uh, okay, again, okay, I just want to ask you a question. If a guy in the army went out and and killed somebody, do you realize that the whole United States Army would come under suspect? Okay, uh, with everybody, they would think that we're all the same. That's the way life is. If a black person, yes, it is. They will be, and nobody's condemning. Wait a minute, and nobody's condemning. Nobody condemns a whole race here. Mhm. Wait a minute, hold on a second here. Hold on. Yeah. Well, let me. I don't. Right. Sure. Like any other place, but nobody's condemning the whole group of people. That no statement. Now, listen, you're a teacher. No statement. Okay. No statement is exclusive. Includes everybody. Right, I'm not telling everybody, but we all get some. Listen, if somebody throws some crap against the wall, it don't just stay in one place. It splashes on everybody. Okay, and that's my point. I don't condemn more people. I condemn the actions of him, but it does. Some of that crap falls on all of us. If you like, if a black man went out and did something right now, that black man's about 60 years old. They'd be looking at every black man in town walking down the street, look like he's 60 years old because they don't know who did it. And it's still right, but it still makes people wary of all 60-year-old men for a little bit, not forever, but for a few minutes, because wow, they that old and they still doing that stuff. It's still work. I mean, come on, logic and reason here. It it's what? Yeah. Okay. And again, yeah. but they all voted. But all 10 of them, all 10 of them voted for Democrats. 98%. Right, but for the ones who voted, they voted Democrat at a 97 percentile. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, okay. All right then. Oh, somebody said that. Somebody said I can't. They can't hear you. Let me see something here. Um, let me see. Let me see. Let me see if
I'm
I.
finna go.
Yeah, you did. We still love you. Okay. Well, it's not. I'm sorry about your person who died. All right then. Appreciate it. Oh, she said they couldn't hear me. Oh, they couldn't hear it. Well, hey, they missed a great conversation. Let me see if I can get this thing right here this time. I got it right. Okay, so speakers right there. Let me see. Down. Okay, so let me see. Line 3. Okay, I'm gotta see if we can get this thing going the right way. I mean, I thought I was doing good. Okay, I thought I was doing good. Okay, so let me see. Hello. Uh-oh, where'd you go? All right then. Hold on a second here. Let me change that thing back to where I had it. Hold on one second. Okay. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. Are you still there? Well, I can hear you fine, but I don't I want to make sure that other people hear you. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I think I fixed that. I'm sure I did. I hope I did anyway. Because y'all need to, yeah, check that and see if you can hear us. Da, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Of course, you can't hear yourself though. Oh, I can't. Well, yeah, I don't have to share it. I got to put it in the phone in the Google phone, the sound app. You just got to put it in the right. Um, Let me see here now. Okay, how about now? Can you hear yourself? Oh, I guess you can't. Okay, then. Now, what about now? Yeah, yeah. I got your mic. The mic's good. Mic's good. Okay. Okay. How about now? Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it's on. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know what? Wait a minute. Let me. I may forgot about that. Every time I get out of there, oh yeah, know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't do that. My bad. Okay then. Yeah, I understand. Well, I need a producer, man. Sometimes my mind is. Yeah, I didn't even have that thing shared. That's a doggone shame.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
Okay, well,
Live and learn. You gotta like do it so much that it becomes automatic.
well,
Same
that's
way with
true.
your old radio jobs.
Yeah, yeah, that's true too. Now, I don't know if you can hear anything now. Let me know.
Let me see. Mic check, commo check, mic mic check, commo check.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you share the audio tab at the bottom?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's shared.
Let me see real quick.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Somebody's gonna have to call though to
Yeah, I'm fixing it. I'm gonna hit you right back.
yeah, okay. I mean somebody's gonna have to call and make sure we can get in. I forgot to do that. Man, I sat there had a long conversation and I sat there and had that long conversation. Nobody heard, but well, you can hear it on the replay later on. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
I called back. Can
Why are
okay
you?
now? Okay, all right. Audio is coming through now. I got a question for you, Kevin.
Yes.
Now they can hear me. Okay, let me stop the YouTube video. Would you date a white woman?
No.
Okay, why not?
I think it's
You're not racist, are you?
No.
Okay,
I'm preferential.
What's that mean?
It means I choose black women over white women to date. I just said I
But
love.
but now my curiosity, because I like women, Indian, Asian,
I
African.
feel you.
I
That's your
like
preference.
women. I think to prefer. This is just my own
Right.
opinion.
Right.
But to prefer a woman,
Mm-hmm.
a life partner,
Right.
because like now, I'm not saying it's racist at all, because
No,
there's
'cause I'm
certain
not.
cultures like
Yeah.
Indians. Man, if an Indian, a lot of Indian, like not Native American Indians, but overseas Indians,
Right.
they will disown you if you date
Sure.
anything other than, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's not a racist. I get where it's more, but is it from a pro-black standpoint, or is it just from I mean, you mean to tell me, and there's some good-looking white women out there,
Good looking
big old
white women.
booties and all that
Good
stuff.
looking women.
You mean to tell me if they walked up to you and said, "Hey, you would say no based on what preference, though?"
I think the preference is that let me put it to you this way. If I'm going down the street and there's two people drowning, okay, one on my left, one on my right, one black and one white. Now, I would do my best to save both. But if I had to let one of y'all go, it'd be the white guy.
Well, that's sort of a morbid example. It doesn't
No,
drive home the point.
but the point is that I know where I know the culture of black folks. I know where we come from. I know where we again. I just and I, honestly, I think black women are the prettiest women in the whole wide world. I just me though. I mean, I just me.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not disagreeing with you, but so like if a bad Latino, I'm talking about bad Latino woman, 45 years old,
Yeah.
look like she could be black because she light skinned, but she really Latino.
Right.
But you like, damn, like I'm having feelings for this. I thought she was light skinned, but she really Puerto Rican Latino. You mean to tell me, based on the fact that she's Puerto Rican, that you find out 2 weeks in that she's not black, she's Puerto Rican, you would stop talking to her?
Well, here's what I think. I think if you run into somebody that you get a heart connection with,
There you go. That's what I'm looking for.
Right. I think the heart would not care of what they were from, their ethnicity, and things like that.
That's some of the realest shit you've ever said, my friend.
Well, but
into there.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna choose it, I'm gonna choose a sister girl.
Oh, I ain't no doubt about it. No, if you line up a Puerto Rican, a black, and a white,
yeah,
I'm probably gonna lean more towards the Puerto Rican. I feel you on that, you know. And I love black women. I have dated more black. I've dated one white woman in my entire life, and I am a purebred Caucasian Irishman. I am not the sons of the Confederates. I am of the Irishness descent. Boston, via Boston. I still got family up in Boston and Pennsylvania. We're Irish settlers, okay? But so I just wanted. So I get that, because if there was a Puerto Rican, an African American, and a white woman lined up, it would be tough. But I get you. Everybody's got their preferences, but you said it right though. You can't. The heart is blind, right? The heart is blind.
Yeah,
so, right.
We're good. All right.
Yeah. Well, hey, I hope to see you with a bad Puerto Rican or white woman soon.
I hear you, brother. All right, appreciate it. Let me see now. Hello, who's this?
Yes, sir. It's your show still on, Kevin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Quick question. You made the you made the comment about who you would save if between a black person and a white person.
If my only choice was to save one,
Right.
right,
Okay. Your only choice was to save
right,
one.
but I
Now,
would try to
if
get
you
both.
condition, yeah, you try to get both. Now, let me ask you. You say now, if the white guy was closer, easier to save versus getting to the black guy, which one would you choose?
Now you got to put. Now you got to put. Now,
Yeah, put some conditions in
listen,
place.
it depends on how deep the water. It depends on how deep the water is on that other end.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, the white guy a little easier to get to,
Uh,
versus the brother that's, about 20 more feet out there in the water.
yeah, I'm gonna have to let him go.
Now, which one you gonna choose?
I'm gonna have to get the white guy in that case.
Yeah, so is it by skin tone?
No, it ain't about skin. It's about, but again, and I said all things being equal. All things being equal. They both, but I can only get one. Then of course, and I would expect. Listen, I would expect the white guy to do the same thing. If all things being equal, there's a white guy in the pool with me and me when it's, but he can only say one. I wouldn't be holding against him if he got the white guy. I mean, they have something in common. They have a lineage together. They have things about each other that they know that they don't even know. They know. You know what I'm saying? So it's culture. Yeah, I don't have a problem. Because I've taken I've taken a whooping from a black man and a white man. So
So the white guy grew up in the same neighborhood
right,
as you and the other, you and the black dude. Okay, y'all got the same culture, went through the same experience. Just one is just white, the other one black. Grew up in the neighborhood. Okay,
right,
hung out together. Grew up together. Did dirt together. Dated the same type of women, and all that.
That would be a hard one.
I mean, which is
he still does not have the DNA that I have. And he still hadn't put up with the same things in life in this country that I have. You have. Our positions in this country have not been one of equality, but been one of survival. And so I still would probably get the black guy.
So you think that all white folks had it easy?
Oh no, absolutely not. And I've fought that fight for years.
I mean,
No, some of them call just as much hell as we call. But again, what we're doing here, we're saying if the only difference was color, all things being equal, and the only difference was color. And now you put in a thing there to kind of, you kind of change the scenario. When it comes to the possibility, if there's more of a possibility that I could save the white guy, I know I wasn't going to be able to get the black guy, then I get the white guy. But my preference, that's all things being equal.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay, blood is the same color, right?
Absolutely.
Right. Everybody believes red.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say an alien or something. But anyway, now the most important thing about us as humans, and that probably we go by this skin tone, right? We look at skin color and so-called culture. Okay. Now, why is it that a black person, say you, okay, you need a blood transfer,
right?
That probably not even your own family members can say, that could connect to your blood
type.
Okay, right, your blood type. Now here comes a white guy, what happens all the time.
Yeah, it does.
That has the same blood type as you. Okay, that your body would not reject. Okay. Yeah. So who is more connected to you in that case?
Well, of course, that the guy with the blood that's compatible with mine.
Right. So what tells? Okay. So do you think as far as like I said, we look at the skin color.
Yeah.
Okay. But do you think that white man that we call a white man that has the same, whose blood that is the living source that gives you life, okay, is more connected to you than other black folks?
Well,
Do you think he's more of your kin than the black man?
not my kin,
If it's
but the
what
blood is
I
blood. I
mean,
mean,
so what is more important? Your skin tone, in that case, is the skin tone saving you, or is that vital substance of life,
yeah, of
which is
course.
blood,
Yeah, I mean, of course.
is more important?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It's the blood.
yeah. So why do you think God made it that way?
Well, now I haven't talked to him lately,
Yeah,
um, but
yeah. We
that's
got all these shades of color that
right.
we worship.
Well, first of all, it'd be
Okay,
boring. It would be boring if everybody looked the same. Okay, it
right,
really would.
right,
It would be
right,
boring if everybody
right.
looked the same. So,
But
so
we got all these shades of colors that we as human beings worship and think is make us these special people,
yeah,
right?
I think we need. I think
Okay.
having the different hue of people it makes it more of a magnificent world.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Just like languages, right?
Hmm.
I mean, that's the reason why what we did in Babylon.
Yeah, yeah.
We
So
confused the languages, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't have a problem with whites or black folk. I just made the
Yeah.
scenario there. If in fact I can only get one person, then I would probably get that person that I know more about than the other guy. Now again, if the brother was 450 pounds and I couldn't get him, well, he I couldn't get him because he weighed too much.
Yeah. So let me ask you. So if that you say you know more about,
Yeah.
okay, and the only thing you know about is that his skin color. That's the only thing you know about the person, right?
No, I know some of his struggles without even knowing.
I mean, how you know it's struggle if you don't know?
Because if you're born black in America, you have struggles.
I mean, every black person that's born in America has struggles.
Sure, I think we do. I think we are all at some point, depending on where we are, at some point, we are automatically like right now. 98% of all black folks vote Democrat. They
Okay.
just do. They just do. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't.
Because we was
I don't because they've been groomed, they've been brainwashed to do it, and therefore that's why I don't get along with most black folks I know because I can't go with that. But again, I know where they've been. I know that now young folks today they don't hardly have to put up with nothing. But I came up in a world where being black was not necessarily an advantage. But the young kids today, I think they're a whole lot better off than I was, my mother was, my father was, and things of that nature. But again, I like being black. And I like hanging around people that look like me. So we got something to talk about. Every black
yeah.
person in
So
America has something in
was
common.
Obama out there drowning in the water? He was the so-called black guy.
Hmm.
Okay. Then you have this white guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Who would you say?
Well, if Obama was being the president that he is,
All things equal.
huh?
No,
Yeah,
all things equal.
I mean, he would have Secret Service getting him, so he wouldn't worry about me.
No. This you. Secret Service ain't right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's not
This,
realistic because
no.
if
This,
only reason why we know of Obama because he was president of the United States. That's the only reason why we know about him.
yeah, but that's just hypothetical. Who would you say?
You know, you know, I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Obama black, right?
Yeah, well, he's kind of black, but not
I mean,
totally.
yeah, he's so-called black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he ain't totally black.
Yeah, so-called black.
But I don't know. I'm glad that scenario will not play out because
Yeah, yeah.
he's
Well,
always
I think
he's always with secret.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I just wanted to throw that at you, man. Especially when it comes down to blood. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
That most important thing that runs through our vein is blood.
Yeah. Well, that's
Same color. It ain't black. It ain't white.
yeah.
You know, a white man, the blood that comes from a white man or a black man,
Yeah.
you know, could save your life, my life, a white man life. The black man blood can save the white man life.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
so what? You know, but like I said, we taking this color ideology or idolizing. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? As if it's something special
Well,
when it's not.
we didn't start it. So I mean, I don't know who started the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing about color. Uh,
Well,
but
I mean, you know what that, just like with white people, and white folks don't understand even where the term white people comes from. Do you know where it comes from? When that started?
well, no, I don't.
Yeah, it started in what, the 1600s.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
you need to read. Yeah, yeah,
First of all,
read up on.
I know one thing about it. We're not black and they're not white. So,
So why we call ourselves that?
because black was negative and white had a pure sort of connotation to it. Black has a negative connotation to it. You don't find too
Right.
many things in this world that are black that are good.
Yeah, it's always been the mind game.
Right.
That's all it's
Right.
been.
It's been a
It's
mind
always been there, and that's how this whole thing started.
game. Yeah.
Uh, with uh, with white folks.
Yeah.
You know, look up Bacon's Rebellion,
Yeah.
and you understand how this whole color thing came into play
Yeah.
in this country, and how it became this. White people became white folks. White folks didn't even understand how they became the term white people, and
Uh-huh.
how it was a mind game that was played by some elites to
Yeah.
divide and conquer
Yeah.
after Bacon's Rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Need to read up on that, man.
All right. I
Yeah.
will. I appreciate your call there. See, the nice thing about this place is you don't have to. I don't limit you to 3 minutes anymore. If you want to talk, you can talk. Also, El Millionaire. What do you mean race is fake? Made up? Well, maybe so, but again, we still live by it. It's how we are. It is how we are identified. And as a matter of fact, and I tell you, I don't know if it's fake or not. If somebody robs the bank, color is relevant. Okay. Everything that can identify you is relevant. You go in the bank or you kill somebody. I want to know, oh, well, he was 6'3", or he was 5'1", or 5'6", 5'3". Color is relevant. It's merely a means to identify people, part of the identification process. It has nothing to do with character, has nothing to do with anything but color. Okay. And race is a social construct, but it needs to be made of. Okay. Let me tell you this. Buffalo is a social construct too. So is roaches. Who named them those things? We did. Okay. What about the horses, dogs, cats? All of those are social constructs, and we have names for these things for what reason only? Only for one reason only. So when we call out their name, we know what we're looking for. Okay, if somebody says, "Oh, man, there's a rat in the house," well, we be crazy looking for roaches because we know what a rat is. We know what color a rat is. Okay, roaches are brown. They do got some black roaches every once in a while. So names, they are merely means of identification of who you are. Okay, that's all. Okay. Again, I rarely seen a black person in my life. I think in some parts of Africa they come closer to being black than anybody in America ever would. Okay, and white. I had never seen a white person. Never. As a matter of fact, it'd probably mess my brain up if I saw somebody that was white. Whatever color we call them, whatever color, I don't care what the color. But that strictly means to identify somebody. Okay, because it's not enough to say, well, apples and oranges. Well, it's not apple and oranges. As a matter of fact, how do you know an apple from an orange? How do you know an apple from an orange from a distance? By the color of it. You know if you look at a distance, if you see an orange, you know it's an orange. If you see a green or a red, you know that's an apple. So color is relevant, but it's relevant, but it's not that important in the overall scheme of things. But it is relevant. Okay, it's just relevant. I mean, just we can't. I mean, God made us this way. We're different colors for a reason. Now I don't know what that reason is, but okay, But all we have a lot of things in our country, in our world, that are social constructs. Lots of things. So you can't get away from it. Okay, what's good, what's bad? Some cultures, there are things that are bad, and other cultures, that same thing is considered good. Okay. Hey, I talked to Donald yesterday, Big C, and he'll probably come on sometime next week with us. I told him y'all keep asking for him, so okay then. All right, what else is going on up here? Now, I'm looking for some information on what happened to City Council. I know they were looking at the budget yet last night, but I can't find it in the news. I cannot find. I did talk to a couple of City Council people the other day about the budget and money and things of that nature, and I didn't get a chance to get back with them. They didn't get a chance to get back with me because uh, they are well, they're kind of hiding out because the budget had to be talked about. Okay, okay, let's stop that right quick. Um, first, Montgomery City Council members discussed raise for firefighters at budget committee meeting. Could dip into police budget. Well, if we don't have enough policemen, then why are we keep using the same budget for the police department? And why not give it some of that money to the fire department? And they short people also. They're short people also. So it makes sense to me. I mean, it just makes sense to me. Then split the budget. Our budget is 300 and what they rated 83 million dollars. That's a lot of money. The problem, Montgomery Fire and Rescue leaders estimate that the raise would cost 4.2 million dollars, meaning the council would have to find a new revenue stream to take the money from other departments. The only place I can see where we can take money from is the police department, because they always over budget the police department, from what I understand anyway. And so why not give it to give these guys a raise? Their job is just as dangerous as being a policeman. Except you never know where the fire is going to come from, So I don't know. I listen. Yeah, they need a raise. Okay, they can use a raise, like everybody else can, I guess, So I don't have a problem with the fire department getting a raise. Does anybody have a problem with the fire department getting a raise? Of course we don't. I mean, those guys, let your house start burning. You wish they did. Let's say, when is CC coming to get the police review board? CC, who is CC? When is CC going to get a police review board? Oh, you're talking about Calhoun? I think we need a police review board. I just think we do. I think I think that now the problem with the police review board is, what is the purpose of it? My purpose for a police review board is not one to manage the police department or the police chief. You're not in the chain of command, but I do believe, because there's so many things that are out there right now. If you watch YouTube, we got people that think they know about policing. Well, I need your badge, and I need your badge and your supervisor's number. Listen, if the police stop me, you think I'm gonna say? Well, give me your badge number and give me your supervisor number. Like I got, or like I'm in charge at that point. No. It don't work that way. Okay, the police are the police, and some of you folks out there, some of y'all need an ass whooping sometimes, because the way y'all be acting when the police stop you sometimes, just absolutely. See, I already got it down. Okay, I already got it down. Okay, I already got what I'm gonna say when the police stop me. Not if, but when. Hello.
So if let's say a corrupt police pulls you over and you get a bad vibe from him, you still gonna do exactly what he says?
Absolutely. You will never win a fight on the street with the police.
So our amendments as Americans that we have, our constitutional rights, we don't get to, because there are, obviously you can't do search and seizure. You can't ask somebody for their ID without them committing a crime, because if that was the case, then they could just set up checkpoints every half mile and just, sort of,
well, you can set up checkpoints now.
Well, but a lot of people argue that it's not constitutional, that it's like what the Nazis did.
And the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court said you can set up sobriety checkpoints. I don't think you can set up.
But when you get stopped, you don't have to talk. You don't have to show them your ID.
Well, now you do have to show them your ID.
Not unless you're suspected of committing a crime. That's what we wrote into the Constitution.
Well, traffic is not necessarily a crime, but it is a statute violation.
Yeah, but let's say you're going through, and we've all seen the videos on YouTube where you go through a checkpoint. Some officer is trying to get you to talk because they're trying to find out if you're drunk or not.
Okay, and I don't blame the officer for doing that, but you don't have to. Right? You're not giving up your Fourth. What's it? The Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, where you don't have to incriminate yourself.
You can show them your license through the window, and you can show and say, "I'm not going to answer any questions."
Okay.
Without my lawyer.
That right there is going to get you an ass whooping. Okay.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. People should do that more, because
they're gonna yank you out of your car. They're gonna
no. Because for decades, cops have had this psychological power over civilians, like they have more power over us.
They do,
white and black.
At that stop.
No, they do not.
At that they do.
They are public servants. They don't have more power than me. They're a public servant with a nice uniform and a gun.
Okay. Listen,
they're the same as a city council member, except they got a nicer uniform, a shiny badge, and they get to drive a company vehicle with a gun.
And listen,
that's it.
I don't blame you for having that position. And listen, when you get in jail, please call me and I'll put something on your books.
I appreciate that, but I'm gonna need you to bail me out. Fuck my book. Look. But I'm saying though, if you got pulled. Obviously, you've never been pulled over by a hostile cop, or have you?
Sure, I have. Am I black? Of course I have.
Okay, and so when that cop pulled you over, with like nowadays with the body cams and cell phones, you mean to say that you would allow that cop to uproot your dignity and identity and treat you like shit, and you would just go along with it? Well, that's not solving no problem. That ain't helping nothing.
And again, I hear what you're saying. But on that street, on that stop, he is the law at the time being. Now, I ain't stupid. I'm not, but he is the law. Fight it in court. Fight it. You'll never win on the side of the road. You never will.
I agree. I agree 100%. But I think as a civilian with rights, and a lot of police out there are drunk on power because they don't have any at home. They don't whatever's going on in there, because cops are humans. That's why I said, in a way, and I've seen all the movies, the iRobot, but I'm kind of ready for the AI to take over and these humanoid robots to start policing us.
That's a lot. And so let me get this right. They
don't have emotions.
We're gonna get rid of human beings and replace them with robots. Like somehow that's going to be better.
Maybe it won't be. Maybe there'll be some hacker that'll hack into the robots and it'll be a freaking frenzy. But humans have emotions, and I've dealt with more officers that are just having a bad day, and you're the butt of that bad day, and it's just human error is too big. Who said this quote? Where there's power, there will be corruption.
And where there's a machine robot policeman, there won't be any emotion. There won't be any compassion. There won't be anything. Now, give me the human being. Give me the human being.
But There are way less cops that I have met. And there are a lot of good cops, but I would say if and I'm sure there's more than 100 police in our city. There's probably 400 or 500, but I'm just gonna keep it at 100. Out of 100, in my opinion, I think most police officers, especially because they're hiring young now, and these young officers are listening to culture. They're into pop culture, entertainment. A lot of these young officers are just as brainwashed as the damn civilians.
Well, but let me ask you a question. Who do you think got the most weirdos? The population at large or the police department?
I mean, are we doing it per
at large?
There's like 300,000 civilians. There's probably
exactly
300.
So
yeah,
I'd rather take my chance with the one police officer that minute than put up with everybody, because the police got to put up with every crazy person they stop.
1,000%. But I also think like a lot of these officers, because I have a unique perspective because I filmed for cops in Montgomery for a little while back in the day. So I got to ride with these officers and talk with them.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are gung-ho. They're ready to go out and fight crime. And others are like, man, I might make 1 or 2 stops a night and I'm good.
Yeah.
But it all depends on what that captain's quota is for the night. Because I've heard them several times, get out there and write some tickets. And a lot of them are just getting low-hanging fruit. They ain't out here protecting and serving. They're writing tickets.
Then don't be low-hanging fruit. That's
true. Okay. That is very, very true.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, let me go, man. I appreciate it. I don't. Don't be low-hanging fruit and do your thing. Anyway, the numbers here are 521-2963. Other things. I'm trying to. I think our budget. There's currently a petition with over 1,200 signatures asking for a wage increase. No doubt the fire department, I think that we need to borrow some money from the police department. Since they don't have enough, they only got 200 something officers anyway. I mean, at one point they had 500 officers. So what happened to all that money? And now we're gonna raise the budget up more. And so much that money is gonna have to come from someplace. That money is gonna come from someplace. And it's gonna come, well, you know what? Okay, look in the mirror. That's right. You're the person going to give up that money. Well, if I gotta get taxed out the heebie-jeebies, then now I'm all for the what they call it, commuter tax. I'm all for people coming in here who come in here, and of course everybody. Now, don't get me wrong. If we had a I forgot what they call that tax. That 25 cities in Alabama have this tax that they won't let Montgomery have. I forgot what it's called. I'm all for it. You get to write that off if you itemize at the end of the year. Bud, what's up?
Not a whole lot. Kevin, how you doing today on this beautiful morning?
Outstanding morning. Yes.
It absolutely is. I want to talk about the police budget real quick, if you don't mind. What city councilman said in the article, I believe I read it on WSFA, I think is very telling. He said we had in the budget money set for salaries for 400 police officers.
Right.
He said that's completely unrealistic. 300 is a more suitable goal.
Right.
That means we have under 300 police officers currently if that was to become our new goal. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Which is why I think that why not give the people on the fire department a raise? That money just sitting there.
But here's the issue I have. It's not an issue. I guess it's an informative decision. 12 years ago, when I ran for city council, I pulled the city budget. And within the city budgets, it listed the number of personnel in all the different departments. At that time, we had 450 people in the police department. Now, maybe 50, maybe 75 are administrative and stuff like that, okay? But how do we go to 400, from 450 to less than 300, where we have to strive to even reach 300 people?
Well, man, listen, well, first of all, after the George Floyd thing, after the Black Lives Matter thing, at the defund the police thing, becoming a police officer was it was almost a nightmare for the people becoming, because politics reared its ugly head for one of the few times in this nation's history in how we police. Not about crime, but how we police. And we were saying, well, how many black people you stop versus white people? It's mayors became scared. They wanted to be reelected, so they tried to manage the police department from town hall, from city hall, as opposed to allowing the professionals do that job. I've heard so many complaints about the mayor in the police department getting involved in it some kind of way. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's just what I hear. And one policeman was terminated because, according to him, because he cussed out a person who was breaking the law, and he cussed him out, and they fired the guy. They put the guy on suspension because he cussed out a person. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. Mm.
If we wonder why crime is the way it is in Montgomery, if we had 450 folks 12 years ago, and now we have less than 300, that means we've lost 35, 40% of our police officers over the course of 12 years. When I was running for city council, I was walking door to door, and one of the gentlemen that came to the door at that time, he was a major in the police force, and he brought me inside, and we sat down. We talked about 30 minutes, and he said at that time, the city had divided up into basically 3 zones. And he said, this is what's crazy. There could be a crime 1 block out of my zone, and I could not dispatch police officers to that crime because it was in a different zone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I found an article where you're talking about, though. Ed Grimes agreed with the firefighters that they have a budget for 400. But again, he said we don't even have 300, and so why are we budgeting? So give those firemen a raise. I mean, that makes sense to me. Else the money's going to.
I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely not opposed to that.
Yeah.
But my focus is crime is not going to get better when you do not have enough boots on the ground. And this major told me, okay, when they went to the 3 districts,
right,
that means each district had to have a major, certain number of captains, etc. So instead, what happened was the administrative, it pulled so many officers off because they became top heavy and brass. And so, a major might be out there occasionally cruising on patrol, but that's a big desk job. And so the bureaucracy at the top of the police department became heavy. Now, I don't know if the police department is still on that. Could not tell you. Like I said, that was 12 years ago. Yeah. But,
I believe,
a lot of what...
Yeah, I believe that the administrative offices of the Montgomery Police Department, we need to hire civilians to do that. We need a police chief and maybe a second in charge, but we don't need majors to be set in office. They can be in the cars out, the majors and captains, and they can be outside, because guess what? In the United States Army, the captain is right there with you on the patrol and doing a lot of things. Now, majors are administrative, but we in dire times right now, and in dire times, that's why everybody goes to basic training, because they say at the end of the day, we're all soldiers, and we all are responsible for doing the same thing, protecting our buddy's butt and our own too.
Well, you were a cook at one point, but you knew how to. You were on the rifle range. You had to qualify. And
now,
wait, you were going to be out there shooting and cooking.
Wait a minute. Why do you people piss me off so much bringing up that I was a cook? Wait a minute. Like it's a different job. I went through airborne school. I went to Ranger.
And I salute you for that. I did not. I did not mean that as an insult. Because guess what? If the Army don't eat, the Army don't march.
And as a matter of fact,
don't fight.
As a matter of fact, when you out there in the bush and it's cold as crap outside or raining and miserable, one of the best people you want to do is when you come at the fact of the matter is we can prepare you a meal out in the bushes, which is what we used to do. Listen, it ain't. I wasn't to cook because I was too dumb to be anything else. That's what just sometimes that just irritates me. It's just, there are no unimportant jobs in the military. None.
Absolutely, I agree, 100%.
All right, then. Let's not always bring that up. I mean, I shouldn't even call nobody.
You're a bit touchy now. I didn't mean it that way.
Because I know, because people say I had low IQ.
Dude, no. I mean, listen, it ain't where you start; it's where you end up.
Well, exactly. At the end of the day, you know what they call a infantryman NCO and a cook NCO? Call them the same thing, sergeant. I'm just saying,
man. You have a great day, Kevin.
All right, bro.
Thank
you. Good morning.
Morning, Sergeant Elkins.
Good morning, First Sergeant.
Question.
Yes.
Do you think if the city had an occupational tax, we'll have the resources to do more than we're currently able to do?
Absolutely.
So if that's a sticking point and it's an issue that most people agree with, why isn't the city council supporting the mayor and asking for the legislators to allow the capital city to have occupational taxes? Do you think we have the money to give firemen raises, sanitation raises? Do you think we have money to pave streets if we had occupational taxes?
Well, again, though, with a police department budgeting for 400 and they got 300 or less, we got extra money there now.
Well, I don't know if we got extra money just for that, but what about the paving of these streets? There's communities and there's districts that streets are not being paved because we don't have the resources.
Well, now, listen, I've seen a lot of streets being paved in Montgomery recently.
Yeah, you have. And when you say a lot, it's because what you're looking at is you see Fairview and you may have seen Court Street and you may have seen your street on Federal Drive.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
But Kevin, I ride this city a lot more, and maybe you will when you start Ubering.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of streets, Kevin, that are not. I spoke with a city councilman, and he shared with me there's not one street in his district got paved this year. A whole district.
Wow, that's and again, I think the occupational tax is a great thing, but the only bad thing about it, everybody's going to pay it, whether 1%, whether they live in Montgomery or not. I mean, they're going to pay it, but everybody wants things done. It takes money. But where's the money going to come from for the $300 and something million budget we got now? Where's that money going to come? How are we going to raise money for that?
Well, I think that's why we pay people to serve in these elected seats to figure that stuff out, Kevin. It's not for you and I.
Right, but listen, it's only one way you can get it. Look in the mirror. It's only one way you can get it.
I'm willing to pay for services that I receive. I mean, I think that's part of it. That's a lot of folks want to have breakfast, but they don't want to give up their pig to get the ham or the bacon.
Well, no,
and so folks want to have breakfast, but you don't want to give up anything to have it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it is. Are
you willing to sacrifice more to have good services? Are you willing to?
The 1% thing, and poor as I am, but if it means, the people being happy they work for us, so we don't have to worry about our junk being strolled all over the streets, and we can get some more policemen, we can do this, because we got a lot of people coming to this city every day and leaving out, giving us the bird.
Yeah, I think we just, again, I know you were part of the Tea Party, taxed enough already, right?
Well,
so do you believe we need? Okay, so you agree that sometimes you got to pay for it.
You got to pay for it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I got to get.
So would you be in favor of occupational tax?
Yeah, I'm in favor of. Yeah, any way to get us some revenue in here. Because
have you shared that with your council person? Have you shared that with your?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
And I'll share with the rest of them. But I just think you cannot do stuff with no money.
Okay, I'm in agreement. I just wanted to see where you stood on that, because I know we want to pay firemen, and I think they should be paid.
Yeah.
If you ever had to make a 911 call where a loved one was unresponsive and you couldn't get fire services out, I know we want good policing, but man, the 911 and the firemen, they come for people that are having heart attacks and people that are having seizures and strokes.
Right.
I mean, that's the call for your health.
Yeah. Well, somebody once said a fire engine, a ambulance sounds different if you're in back of it.
Thanks for taking the call, brother.
And it sounds different. When you're going down the road and you see that ambulance in back of you, you don't mean a whole lot to you. But if you're in the back of that ambulance, you want a paved street. You want the people to move to the right, move to the left, whatever they got to do. Okay. Now listen, do you think this is just your telephone lines?
Where does the $1 billion go from tourism? We don't need to be taxed no damn more.
Well, I asked the mayor that one day. I said, wait a minute. So where's all this?
He ain't got no answer, man. That dude is a robot. He's the first humanoid robot. Elon just said that.
Yeah, I just and I appreciate you calling. Get back. But I did ask the mayor, well, if we getting all this money from tourism, then who's getting it? Is EJI getting it? Which if they are, that's fine. But where's the money coming from? And now, wait a minute. Now I'm just reading the paper a few minutes ago. Now the Chamber of Commerce is getting another economic development person. I'm just trying to figure out all these people for economic development, and nothing ever seems to change. We always still whining. Hello. Hello. Okay then. So my thing is that we get all these economic development people and all these people in, and where in the world, where's the economic development at? And we always whining. Hey, let me go to another issue here. The education leaders are concerned. Where did this come from? Okay, sorry about that. Where they talk about chronic absenteeism in Alabama schools. Well, it seems to me last month the Alabama State Board of Education named September 2025 Attendance Awareness Month in Alabama. Education leaders from across the state attended the Cognia Impact Conference, which some discuss how they are prioritizing student attendance after the COVID-19 pandemic. If you guys made school challenging, honestly, I guarantee you that Valiant Cross, probably Montgomery Academy, probably some of the other schools around here that have high standards, they don't have to worry about it. And you got to pay for that. You not only are you paying for public school through your taxes and your ad valorem taxes on your home, you also are paying for your kids to go to another school. Okay, which I'm all for let the money follow the child. Okay, having gone through that with two boys, I'm telling you, it's public school. Okay, need to get a whole lot better, and we wouldn't have these problems. Okay. Now I agree. There's some people just need to be put out. There's some people that just need to be put out of public school. They just need to be put out. But we won't do that. We won't do it. But why is it that the private schools can maintain order, maintain good grades, I guess, and don't give me this BS about, well, we got to take everybody. Okay, so take them and teach them. Okay, take them. But it didn't say in the law, and people keep telling me all the time. I said, well, why do you put up with incorrigible kids? Because the law says we got to, we have to teach everyone. That's true. But you don't have to put up with that crap. My son gave me blues for 4 years going to school. As a matter of fact, he wouldn't say anything to hardly anybody in the school until he graduated. The day he graduated, teachers looked at him and didn't know he could talk. He never said anything to him at all. He just said it was chaotic. It was, and the same people doing the same crap all the time. They take them to the office and they bring them right back. So whatever situation the school is in, it's their problem. It's their fault. they've done this. I mean, grown people. And Chaz, I don't believe that the Chamber of Commerce is a scam, but I do believe that they ought to raise their own money and stop taking some money from us. Okay, if you can show businesses that you are doing a great job of getting them business or getting them people to their doors, getting their, then I think you can get all the money you need from, because I paid to belong to the Chamber of Commerce for about 13 years. I did. I just paid them just for the hell of it, because you had to. You needed that. You needed that thing to go across your doorways or whatever the case may be. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce. It gave you some credibility and some. I don't know if longevity is the word, but it gave us a little bit of status, because the chamber's not going to let everybody join. Okay, but I'm telling you something. We give them what, $2 million a year. Okay, listen. Somebody said my MPD needs to crack some. Listen, I've got to tell you, some of these people need a butt whooping. Okay, some of them do. They do. Okay. Oh, so anyway, so the next councilman, I think we're going to go down there and check it out next week. I think we're going to go down there. I ain't been to I ain't been to a city council meeting in a while, but I'm gonna see what they got to say about all this stuff. And I try to get them on. I try to get them on the air. Try to get them on the show, but they don't. They don't feel like showing up. I called CC about 4 times last week, and I'm just saying, why do y'all have telephones? Okay, why do you guys have telephones if you can't hear? I mean, excuse me. If you, I think Aljamal, I think you ought to be able to hear now. Uh, but anyway, moving right on, moving right along. Okay, anything else up? Okay, moving right along to other things. There was a baby, and which is why this box was put at the hospital. I'm glad she put this child in this box. It's called Safe Haven Baby Box at one of the Montgomery hospitals. I think that's really a good thing. The first baby has been surrendered to the Safe Haven box in Montgomery, according to the city fire department. Montgomery's fire rescue announced Monday that a newborn was safely surrendered in August. Installed less than 3 months ago, the baby box has already proven to be a vital resource for a mother in crisis and a safe alternative for her child besides killing the child or besides abortion. Okay, the box was installed at Fire Station 10 on South Court Street. Montgomery Fire and Rescue installed the box as part of Alabama's Safe Haven initiative. Since the program's launch in January 2024, officials say that 4 infants have been surrendered across the state. I'm glad they are. I'm glad they're doing that, because I'd rather see somebody do that than throw their child in a garbage can or something like that. Listen, I've never been a mother. I don't know what it's like to have a baby. I don't know what they got this thing called postpartum or something. I don't know what it's called, but evidently it puts women in a deep depression once they have a child. And if their only option was kill the baby or put the baby someplace else, then we know they'd go to jail for murder, and we would never get to deal with the underlying problems that they have. So I'm really glad that's there. I really am. At least it gives them some, and so there's no reason to leave your child in the garbage can. There's no reason to kill the child or anything like that. Like I heard last week, a man kills 4 of his kids and he kills his wife and then kills himself. At least he did the right thing in the end, kill himself. But boy, I tell you. Anyway, one more thing. I want to play this one more time because this is interesting. If you guys haven't heard the woman who was complaining about Montgomery, if you haven't heard her, you might want to hear her. You might want to hear her, and I'm going to play that right now so you can hear this because I think that I think she got a point, and I think we need to do something. We need to do something so we can hear. But let me see if I can. And here, I think here she is right here, and you can hear her. What her complaint. This is the mother of the woman, the professor got who was killed a little while ago. Let me see here.
From Montgomery.
Let's start all over again.
And as you all,
okay, this is the mother of the professor that was killed.
This guy was from Montgomery. And as you all know, the person who has been charged with 3 counts of capital murder for taking my daughter, for kidnapping, robbing, and unaliving my daughter, is from Montgomery. I'm not saying there's not some bad people in Auburn, but I'm saying if you are not aware of what's going on in our state right now, you need to get educated. You need to understand that Montgomery, that is just 50 miles from Auburn, is one of the worst places, crime-ridden places in the state of Alabama. It is like a war zone. Yeah. There's not enough cops. There's not enough of anything, to be honest. There are so many criminals there. And they're migrating to Auburn.
Our city.
Okay. And one reason is because you've got 85 coming from Atlanta. Okay, take Columbus, Georgia. Columbus has a lot of crime. I keep up with Columbus, Georgia. It's a lot of crime going on there. So you just got like a road in between. Auburn's right in the middle. So I have to say this. I have to educate you guys on those facts too. You need to take that into consideration when you are sending your kids to Auburn. And Karen, worse than Birmingham? I am going to say yes. Okay. The reason why I'm going to say yes to Montgomery being worse than Auburn. I'm sorry. Montgomery being worse than Birmingham. Okay. Yes, there's a lot of gang activity in both cities. Yes, there's a lot of people being shot. I'm sorry, and unalived here in Birmingham. I feel like that's what we are seeing the most of here in Birmingham is a lot of gang activity, a lot of retaliation for things. That's basically what I feel like we're seeing. In Auburn, in Montgomery, I feel like it's just out of control. I feel like it's just totally out of control. There is no handle on anything. I can say Birmingham is doing a whole lot better with their police force. The mayor is doing some great things to try to cut down on crime. And in Montgomery, I don't see anything happening to be able to cut down on crime. So you have to think about that.
Well, that's her opinion. And I listen, if you as a matter of fact, she is quite she is quite stable emotionally at the moment, having knowing what has happened to her daughter. That is, I think it's a shame and a disgrace when people have to get on the media, social media, and tell people not to send their kids to Auburn 50 miles away, because they scared of us here in Montgomery. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but she was walking her dog, and it's a shame. It's all I can say. It's a shame, and I feel sorry for her. I'm embarrassed as a Montgomeryan that these kinds of things happen. I'm just stupefied. And again, it's not the only place in the country where things happen. But if it happens to your neighbor, it is a inconvenience. If it happens to you, it's a tragedy. Well, that was tragic. That was tragic that happened. And there's nothing we can say. There's nothing we can do. I can't take the blame for somebody else's kid. Young man, he's 28 years old. At 28 years old, he's not a kid. He knows exactly what he was doing, and it's a shame. It's just a shame. Just a shame. I don't know. I can't. What else can you say about it? Not too much. Not too much, because it is what it is. It was what it was. But again, we really need And more police in Montgomery, of course, wouldn't have helped that. That happened. And the park she was at, I think one of our city councilmen had just left there, I believe, the other day, the day I think this happened. And so they had no idea that this was going to happen, of course. It is a shame. The one conversation that we can't seem to have, in the 1960s, 80%, and I don't quite know what happened. Well, I kind of know what happened a little bit. 80% of our young males had fathers in their lives. 80%, according to the statistical analysis of the people who gave me this report. And 20% didn't. Well, here it is, 2025, and it's exactly the opposite. Only about 20% of the males, young males today, have their father in their lives, and 80% of them don't. And if we want to know why we're having so much crime, and I don't know what the racial makeup is, those 20%, that 80%, I don't know, but I do know one thing. In our communities, the Black community, we need to do a much better job of raising our boys, because those boys grow up to become thieves and murderers and killers and gang members. And if that's the family that you think you want your children to belong to, you are absolutely wrong. And it's not even their fault. Really, it's not even their fault. They need somebody they can talk to. Somebody, and listen, dads aren't perfect. I keep getting reminded of that all the time. We're not perfect. We don't always say the right things, do the right thing, but my Lord, at least you're there to do something. We're not perfect. We make bad decisions. Zarel tells me all the time about one thing I did to him. He was like 8 years old. He keeps reminding me that I did it. Well, okay, but I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was anyway, but it turned out not to be the right thing, because my child won't let me live it down at all. Won't let me live it down at all. But anyway, listen, I think it's about time for me to get out here. If the good Lord says the same, we shall return on tomorrow if I'm still around. You never know. You guys, it's a present. That's why we call it a present, because we don't know if it's coming or not. But if I am here, I plan to be right here, waiting for join in and let's have the conversation that nobody else can have in this city. But we have them right here on Decisions 2.0. Why do we call it that? Because everything we do requires us to make a decision. And even when we don't make the decision, guess what? Well, it's made for us. So remember what I tell you. It is not the falling down that gives us the strength. It is the getting up every time we do. All I can tell you this morning on the way out is keep getting up. You'll fall. You'll fail. You'll fail more than once, twice, or three times. But every time you do, get up. Try it again. Because you never fail until you quit. Don't quit. Keep moving. Anyway, we'll see you. But I wouldn't want to be you. Have a great day. It is a great day. An outstanding day. Beautiful day to be alive. Oh, yeah, I've got to go on Hagel's show again today. I guess he was bored. He wanted me to come keep him company. So you catch me on TV at 11 o'clock. I think it's the CW. I think that's what the name of that station is. Yeah, I'm going to pass some of my wisdom onto them. All right? So we'll see. I love this song. I made this song up myself. I just want to let you know, me and AI. Okay? I just want to let you know. We did.
With grace.